Pacific Time on Seattle's Rainier Avenue Radio with the Juice Pack, including me, Superstar TK, Einstein Patron, and D Money. We're going to chop it up with some cool people, play some really dope new hip hop and R&B music, some games, and maybe even a live performance. Lock us in right now on Fresh Juice YouTube page at youtube.com/@Fresh Juice Media, or subscribe to us on Spotify or Apple Music. Fresh Juice and Blue.
Love food? Here's some storage tips to keep it fresh longer. Store cut fruits and vegetables in the fridge. Place in reusable containers. Keep bread in the freezer for longer storage. 40% of food in the U.S. goes uneaten. Save money, save food, save the planet. Visit Seattle Public Utilities for more tips.
Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
Thank you for tuning in today to the Fine Arts Radio Show with Julius and Shurvon. Today we are here with Edimbo Lekea. He has been on our show several times, and we're excited to have him back.
Thanks for having me back. Thanks for having me back. Thanks for having me back.
Okay, so I do want to say that you go into the archives of RadioAvenueRadio.world and look up the World of Fine Arts. You will see some of the older videos, audio videos that we had of Edimbo Lekea. Also on our YouTube channel, The Wonderful World of Fine Arts, I did an impromptu interview with Edimbo this past summer at his
It was at the Kabbalah Art Exhibition.
yes, the Kabbalah Art Exhibition at Myrie Curry Design Studio downtown. We'll talk more about that later, but now we have Edimbo here today, and this is the first time he was on live video, so we're excited about that. Yes. So just to kind of give you a little bit of update of what we're doing. Of course, this is our 29th episode, and we're just, talking to visual artists in the community like we always do. We're so glad to have Edimbo back. I'm going to let Julius have some words with Edimbo because he was the one who initially met Edimbo at one of our art shows a few years back at the University of Washington. So with that being the case, we're glad to come full circle here in 2025 and be on the radio show live with Edimbo Lekea.
Right, it's proper right there.
Man, it's an honor to have Edimbo in our presence. He's like family.
Yeah.
It's like family. We did some projects together, so art shows together. And the question I'm going to ask him is, first, how's your mental? How's your mental? And from the time that we did interview you and we did shows together, where you at now? Where you at mentally, spiritually? I just want to know where you at, bro.
Mentally, spiritually, that's a good question too to start off with. Mentally, when I started as opposed to now, I feel like when I started, it was I feel like the ground was smooth, so to speak. I was able to really think of my ideas clearly. There wasn't so much noise, but as you progress into this, I learned that there's a lot more. As people start to, get acquainted with your work, they start to. There's a lot of requests that come your way, so it's like sometimes I've been mentally scattered because you have to now have a discernment between, okay, do I take on this project here or do I block off this time to actually work on my art, which is what brought me to the dance to begin with.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's just like taking the time to leave the house or get in the car. That's time that I'm not painting. So my mind tends to shift a lot throughout the day for different reasons. Okay. It could be art related, could be project related, work related, family, it goes, so mentally, but honestly, I'm thankful because it's a lot of things that's coming in at once, but usually it's good things that's trying to get me to the next level. It's only 24 hours in the day. You know what I mean? I wish it was 48 hours in the day that I could take take care of all those things. But you know, I'm grateful, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm grateful. It's been between grief and opportunities, I guess. I'm gonna just say I've been balanced, grounded. You know, took a lot of time for myself to be like level-headed and then just lock in, which I felt like I haven't done in a minute since I started. You know, things.
Yeah.
I just want to say before Shurvon asks you the next question, like, and what you just said, man, that's the spirit of the thing. So that's good, man. It's good that you're in the spirit, because a lot of times we jump back into that flesh, you know, and sometimes jumping into that flesh, it takes away the balance and it interrupts the mental. So I'm just glad you're in good spirit and you know your mental all right, man. That's why I asked you that. So that's good.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Shurvon.
Edimbo, so we met you before the pandemic.
Right.
And I know that you have done a lot of work since then and have expanded your art series portfolio. Your journey has grown.
Grew legs of its own and it started running. Yeah.
So I want you to tell us about that. How has, prior to the pandemic, where you were at and the art you were making there, how has it grown? Tell us about the new series you're working on, the new murals that you're working on, other projects that may be outside of art. You know, talk to us about that.
I think okay. I'm working on for now. I'm working on a series called the Kitende series, which is like African fabrics, and I kind of like put a 3D twist to it, and some more elements that you see if you if you really pay attention. But I use the same color scheme with red, yellow, and black, and green, and it's pretty much like African textile, and then different designs. The idea pretty much is to add to, kind of like express to my community to see value in our culture, in our traditions, through me adding those details. Those you'll see, so like some designs where it's like 2D, and then you'll see like something that looks like a gold bracelet or something on it that's part of the design that's merged with it. You know, it's kind of like to see the jewel in our culture, you know, so it just doesn't die off. So that's the series that I'm doing. And then what was the other question?
Just other projects you might be working on outside of art.
Okay.
Or you gonna work on another show? You might be doing a show.
Oh yeah.
So
like,
I'm still planning
the
for like
Kabbalah show. Are you gonna do another one?
Absolutely, part 3 actually. Yeah, this is the third. So this will be the 3rd annual. So I really want to make this a thing, you know. Yeah. And it's growing, you know. The first year was just 2 of us, me and JP, and then this past year was Jordan, who you had on the show too. Shout out to Jordan, JP. And Mireille, shout out to all of them, Congolese artists, you know, kind of like, you know, want to have a congregation of talents that can, you know, showcase their work. And eventually I want to grow into like different forms of art, not just visual art and paintings, you know, like even incorporate the spoken words or like, you know, even dances, because Congolese are very musical people. But the Kabbalah means to share. So I'm working this, it'll be in June. And I'm kind of like already like brainstorming some of the future ideas that I'm gonna add or repeat this coming year, 2026. And then also I was nominated for the current award out of Tacoma Art Museum.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then I think should be a show that will be curated sometime next year. I'm not sure. But if you're tuned into my social media, I'll post a date and stuff like that. And then what else do I have? There's a few other things also going on, art-wise, and also in Lakewood, I'm preparing exhibition at the city hall. So
Oh,
there's not a
okay,
date
okay.
yet, but you know,
Okay.
Lakewood City Hall.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to hearing about
Right,
that.
yeah.
And you mentioned your social media, so share with the audience your website, social media tag, so they'll know where to find you online.
Yeah, so you can find me on Natty Dread Illustration. That's NATTY_DREAD_illustration. NATY_DREAD_illustration. Make sure y'all got it. You know, yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, so Edimbo, I know you have different topics that you, subjects that you talk about through your art. One of them is the dandy. I had not heard about dandyism until you had your picture on display and gave us a little bit of background on it. Soon after that, I remember at the Met in New York, they had the dandy.
The what's it called? The Met
Yeah,
Gala.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Met Gala, and everybody was talking about it. But I was like, oh, okay, this is what the devil was telling me about. So tell us more about the dandy tradition and the art piece that you made, and just kind of how it ties into the fashion that we see today.
Yeah, so the idea, so I had the piece called Tokos. So the idea came from, the inspiration came from part of Congolese subculture that we call it sapeur, sapology. So all my Congolese folks know exactly what I'm saying when I just pronounce that word, sape. Here it's called dandyism, but it's a spirit before it's even on the clothes. It's a way of being, a way of seeing yourself. And it's like tailor-made suit, and then there's whatever else is above that. That thing is what that is, sapeur. So the history behind it is that it actually came, well, from what I was told. So if someone wants to correct me, feel free to correct me. But I know from our culture, it is from Brazzaville, Congo Brazzaville, when Congolese fought during one of the world wars, and on behalf of France, on behalf of the colonial power. While they stayed in France, whoever the ones that survived and were not the veterans got a taste of the fashion in Europe, and the suits and a different way of dressing and presenting themselves. And at first it was a way of pride, to stand up straight with the extra walk and the catchphrases every 2 seconds. That pride came from, like, being able to recognize yourself, like, I came back victorious. That's how it started. But as the generations went on, that kind of, like, I guess that still kind of faded away because people were caught up with the colors of the shoes and the crease on the pants and the jewels in the ring and the extra latest fashion clothes. So that was part of a subculture of the Congolese culture.
I get it.
Today, there's a lot of different ways people see that. Some people criticize it because it's still Africans putting money into European brands and fashion. So it's like, instead of saving that money to, like, actually build something, why waste it on $1,000 shoes, $800 white gloves, a pair of white gloves for what, Right. But it's also important to understand the history. So I use this piece to also tell people the untold story behind it, which is the designs behind the Louis Vuitton and the Gucci, which come from African textile. They come from some tribes in the Kwele tribes, the Kuba tribes. So if you look at the Fendi logo, it looks just like some of the designs in the Kuba textiles, in the Kuba tribe. So why are we so attracted to this? Is because they're using our designs to catch our energy, So it's much deeper than what meets the eye,
Okay, well, that's something for us to study and research on our own, because it's very interesting to know that the fashion industry and the history behind it goes further back into the African culture
Right.
and African textile design. So
Oh, yeah.
thank you, Edimbo, for sharing that with me.
No, absolutely.
You got some wisdom right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, Julius.
Yeah, wow. It seemed like you kind of asked. But yeah, I was just thinking, man, I said it on the other last show that you know, it's all about the younger generation now. You know, we consider the OGs of the art. This is the wisdom, what we bring to the table. And do you ever think about, man, or vision doing it like a the younger generation, bringing them on to not just doing art, but just kind of getting more education behind the art. You know what I'm saying? Because I really think that's just more important. Um, I see, man. I see for myself that when I watch the younger generation or just people in general, man, they get distracted from the wrong things, and we trying to bring the distraction where they need to know the right thing. You know, even on the phone. You know, what you're looking at, knowing the difference, not getting distracted from things that's not really your God, honestly, you know, Allah or whatever, you know, whoever they worship. But what's your intake on that? You know, just the younger generation, the distraction and, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I do agree that, like, actually whatever journey we take on, that we make space to have recycle our knowledge, to have the younger generation keep it going and make it better. But there are a lot of vices also that's been thrown at them. So let's, you know, we can't deny that. Whether it's what they see on the phone, TV, sports, I hear. So and so I used to. Well, I kind of took a break because I had to like go back to the drawing board. But I used to teach. At least host a drum circle at the elementary school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Black Boys Drum Circle.
Okay, that's on the reference.
Yeah, out of Rainier Elementary.
Oh, cool.
And I would get, it was like an after school program, and I was doing that for like a good 3 years.
Oh, cool, bro. Wow.
Eventually I'm gonna do something like that again with the youth, probably not through drums, but it was a good way to get them to open their ears and open their antennas to those vibrations, to those ancient vibrations, and then share a little bit of information, not overwhelm them, make sure they still have fun, because that's one of the things too that we want to make sure that we do when we do educate these youth is how do we still keep the element of fun, so that it'll feed their thirst to want to learn more. But I'm planning on doing something like that again, but it's probably gonna be by way of art again, you know. But the whole idea behind the art is just a vehicle for me to get to share, I guess share these stories, you know, some skills also, whatever, with the youth. And also address those vices, not be afraid to address the elephants in the room, as far as the things that they like, who's their favorite rapper, what actually want to know what song, because that's how we'll get to understand how they're thinking at that moment, at that age period between 13 and 15. If their favorite rapper is, let's say, a NBA YoungBoy or Bossman D-Lo, well, listen to what that rapper is saying. I'll kind of give you an idea where the kid's mind is. So, so pretty much like pulling out those distractions. They actually talk about it with them as opposed to try to hide it. But that's what's going to make them want to dig it. You know what I'm saying? They don't trying to, you know, trying to do it behind your back and sneak ways, and kids get a kick out of that. So it's like if you point it out and then make it open, it's like an open conversation. I think that's what I learned working with the youth.
That's true. Thank you, bro. That's real.
Okay, so Edimbo, with that being the case, the series that you worked on with the leopard, and I remember you had told me something about how the leopard, the symbolism of a leopard in Congolese. How would you tie that in, and just the, I guess the message and the character that is built through people who, I guess, like the warrior, you know, the image. Okay, so we have to bring up this picture. As soon as I seen the warrior picture with the leopard, I had to have that picture. But Edimbo had given me more information in regards to the Congolese and what the leopard symbolizes. And then most recently, I bought the one with
That
the,
one right
with the
there.
line.
Yeah.
So that was one image.
Yeah.
But there's another image I thought I had put in there with a warrior. There we
That,
go.
okay, that one
The
right
warrior.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So tell us about that and the symbolism behind that.
Mhm.
In addition to your most recent print that I
Mhm.
also have with the lions and the young boy walking with the lions. Because I
Oh,
think
okay.
those two
Wow.
images tie into what you just talked about in regards to leadership and building character for the young people and things of that nature.
Mhm.
So can you talk about that more?
Absolutely. First, I want to shout out your shirt, your tie, because you're representing right now. Yeah. So I want to shout that out, you know. But the image, the idea behind that leopard, it's the piece. It's called Congo, so spelled with a K, you know. But the idea of the leopard is in our culture we say strength is not to who kills the leopard, but it's who is able to tame the leopard. Because you can kill a leopard out of fear. If you can stand in front of that leopard and make it sit in front of you and make it bow in front of you, that's power, you know. So when you see a lot of these people, because not everyone can wear a leopard, you know, it's like at least in particular times, even now. But when you wear, it's like embodying the characteristics of the leopard. You know, Congo, just the term Congo itself means leopard tamer. So if you ask people from the Congo tribe about Congo people, they'll tell you, what is Congo? They'll tell you this person tames leopard. You know, and that could be looked at literally, or just as a metaphor, but it's just an idea, a way of thinking. But behind this piece, you'll see that the warrior has a gold bracelet, and then the leopard has a gold bracelet also, and that's pretty much represent that bond between that connection, that spiritual connection between the two. You know, they're each other's representation in different forms.
Right.
You know,
Wow.
and then you see on his left arm, he's holding a saber, and those are like a real ancient saber in certain tribes in the Congo. So I used the real old attire that they probably still wear, you know, maybe for the purpose of like ceremony or something. But you know,
That's deep, man. That's a deep root right there.
yeah.
Yeah, you've been doing your homework.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that I really like about creating. It's not just the painting; it's also what kind of information I'm taking in.
Exactly.
And that's like I get a huge kick out of it.
Right.
Whether it's a book, like I said, wherever I can get the information, and with Congo is easy because I could just ask my people, and then also watch documentaries from people back home that's explaining it.
Oh yeah.
So that's my favorite part about creating is learning the information and how I'm going to compose it on the canvas, where I'm going to put this, you know.
Well, I also see that being conveyed through the picture you most recently done with the lions, because there's two lions on each side and the young boy standing in the middle. What was your reasoning behind that, like with pairing those two together?
New Sight, Lion Heart. That's the name of the piece.
Okay, say it again.
New Sight, Lion Heart.
Okay.
Yeah. So
was that a vision that came up with you?
Yeah, for some reason I just kept seeing like just a lion walking and a little kid walking in the middle. I just had that idea, that vision, and I've been having a lot of, and you'll see some of them you already saw, and then I'm creating some of the future ones. But a lot of images, it's like they're already in my brain, and they're just like, it's just like they're like a headlight, just right in my face, like this is it, you know.
I want to say one thing, man, and this is from our heart. What I see right there, that with the lions and the little boy, that's a children's book. Just something to think about. I could see that being a book. for the kids.
Mhm.
So just look into that, man, because I see that.
Yeah.
The colors and everything, even all the different pictures, that could be in the same book, but that's what it look like to me. I don't just see a book, a picture, I see a book.
And I also see like
What about picture? Huh?
I see with the lions representing strength
Yeah.
and wisdom and character, and the young boy following along in that path. He's not afraid. And if you go on YouTube, you can Google some parts of Africa where people do walk with lions.
Oh yeah.
And
Play with
initially,
them?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so initially they're afraid, especially if they're not from
Mhm.
the culture, are not used to that. But they gain some level of strength and confidence in being able to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think, especially here in America, growing up as young people, we do have to take that extra step to build up our strength and our courage and our energy because of the things that we faced here. And not just in America, anywhere, but particularly in the African American culture, there's a certain level of wisdom and strength that we have to gain. And I think
it's there. I think it's there.
It is.
It just comes out in the way of, at least they show it with them big ferocious pit bulls.
Yeah,
That's the best way to
Yeah.
connect like that. That's how I
you're
see
right,
it, at
you're
least
right.
from where from what I've been around here.
Yeah. But
Um,
it takes a certain level of faith to be
Right.
in those situations and
Right.
not be afraid. Yeah.
but the reason why I put the little kid, and then you see that there was no parents around him. It's pretty much that guide, and if you actually see closer, it's probably gonna be pixelated if we do it on here, but the kid actually has a smile.
Yes,
So
I
even the
noticed that.
facial expression also
It says a lot.
says a lot.
Yeah.
He's smiling like he's about to go to the playground or something, and he's walking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's walking amongst the lines. So it's
Yeah.
the idea behind it is protection. And it's an early morning, so it's a new dawn. So a new dawn is new ideas, renewal of yourself.
Yeah, and also relationships with the lion.
Also and then there's also that too, that
As a
relationship
kid,
with the lion.
relationship with the lion.
That guy that bond that's beyond physical explanation.
Yeah.
So it's that all those things are put into that gumbo of what you see in that
And
piece.
that's what I love about that.
Yeah.
Because you was able to express it, and the way you express it, man, it was coming from your heart.
Yes.
That's what I said. That's a kid
Yeah.
look right there.
Yeah. It's a little
movie,
kid.
Could definitely be.
And then
Ooh.
also is 4 lions,
That's right.
and they represent the 4 elements.
Wow.
So if you notice, a lot of my stuff is 4. Is always comes in 4. If you look at
Gotcha.
the piece with the tokos,
Oh,
with the dandy,
oh yeah.
there's 4 of them.
Okay, yeah.
So not all of them, but like you notice if it's my wife, you see a lot of 4s. A lot of something that come in 4. The lions,
Gotcha.
so we made up of fire,
Water.
earth,
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
air.
Yeah.
You
I get it.
So and then to have that kid is like the symbolic representation of
He got all 4.
you,
Yeah.
all 4 of it, and that's how you incarnated. That's how we can be.
Oh, that's good.
And it's a new dawn.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, well, we're towards the end of our show, but we do thank you for being here today. We may do additional have more conversation with Edimbo on our own YouTube channel, The Wonderful World of Fine Art.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here today on the Rainier Avenue Radio.world. We appreciate Edimbo being back on the show. Thank you, Julius, for bringing him into, just having that conversation with him at the UW, which is how we met Edimbo. And that was back in what?
2017?
Yeah.
2017,
Yeah.
This is crazy. Yes, about 2 years to a decade.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
That's
we're
tight.
We're excited that we've been able to share that journey with you.
And I'm thankful for y'all for having this platform for artists like myself doing this, and just to keep it going, man. From UW, like what I'm saying, y'all too. I'm happy to see this,
I'm happy, man.
Yeah. So this is good to see, good to be a part of. So.
Okay, there you go. We any final words you want to say?
Well, I always try to leave with something positive. I just want to say to anybody that's listening, don't get in your own way. don't be scared. You know, I mean, fear is real, but
Make that leap.
make that leap. You got nothing to lose, man. If we down, only thing we can do is go up. Believe in that.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. Qualify my.
Salut à la famille au Congo en France.